Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Oh, that's the orchestral '70s version. I love that one. I used to listen to it all the time. And of course, there was the '50s movie version. That was pretty good too, with the flying spaceship and stuff. But we're not talking about those today. We're talking about the 1938 old timey radio vibe version. It was only audio and had those really interesting musical interludes in between with the music of the time.
But first, we need to do the segments, remember?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Oh,
Okay, let's see.
Define science fiction remnant.
what's that?
Hello? Can anybody out there hear me? I'm speaking to you. Hello?
You can,
Hello?
Who is it?
hello.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hey, this is Madison Standish. Who am I talking to?
Oh yeah, I listened to your podcast. Uh, this is Robert from Science Fiction Remnant, and we have Ray and Geo.
OMG. Hi, guys. Oh, that's so awesome that I got you.
Hey there.
Oh yeah, he's always
We
pulling things like that.
Yeah, we listened to your podcast. It's great.
Oh,
How,
thank
but
you.
how did you get here?
I have no idea. I think I was just drawn to your sci-fi vibe.
Nice. Didn't you invite her as a surprise guest?
Robert is always doing some kind of mischiefs and tricks like that. Yeah.
No, no, this is unplanned, unscripted, unethical.
Absolutely. There were no emails going back and forth between me and Robert this week. None at all.
Well, while we've got Madison here, maybe we should ask her a few questions about her exploits. We've all heard her show, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Wait, you're going to exploit me? I don't understand.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
from California. You should be used to that.
1938,
It's true.
slavery was recently.
Oh my God. Yeah, we love this episode, and for all of you out there who have not heard this episode, I invite you to listen to it. It's Madison on the Air is one of my favorite podcasts, and I'm really excited that we have her drop on our show, just like she drops on all those other radios in the past. But um, how how did you end up on past radio shows, Madison?
Well, I really haven't figured that out yet. I mean, I started okay, so I'm a makeup artist, and I felt like my gift needed to be shared with the world. So I was doing this makeup blog where I was giving instruction, and then I don't know, freaky deaky science stuff, and wham, I'm in the past. I don't know, you'd have to listen to my theme song, it explains it.
Yes. That's
The explanation, not explanation.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm kind of really zen and Tao, and I just kind of go with it. So wherever I end up, I end up.
And Geo,
Well, have you ever thought of figuring out how to get out, or how do you charge your telephone?
Well, as far as leaving, I don't know. I mean, if I go back to your year, what is it, 2020? I left in 2020. What year is it there now?
20,
You guys are
2022.
2022?
Robert,
dude, 2 years. Whoa. Well, I don't know if they take me back to Applebee's. That's where I was working. But really, what is more fun?
great
Going
sweet
to
fried potatoes.
yeah. Oh, oh my God, you're one of those, aren't you? That is exactly my point. That is why I'd rather stay in the past.
It's better than pineapple in pizza, right?
I am not going to reveal secrets. I have been sworn for a yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to be sued by Applebee's.
Oh man, listening to this episode, I realized, um, you know, what do you guys think? And this question is mainly for Ray and Gio, but if Madison wants to answer, um, I realized that podcasts are the new talk radio. What do you think? I mean, I remember back when just you have all those talk radios, and this is how you get your entertainment. And now, I couldn't tell you maybe one or two that are on the radio, but mostly all of them are just podcasts. What do you guys think?
Well, podcasts are way more open to anybody getting involved, whereas like radios would be a radio station. You have to be lucky to get on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean we're doing podcasts weekly. We jump onto other people's podcasts. It's sort of a community, and it's kind of like community radio, I would think, more than like coast to coast national radio. Broadcasts, which I think you're right. I think that's where the sort of the discussion has moved to now.
And I mean, I think that the other difference is the planning. While radio is live, the involvement with the public is different. I would say that's the only difference in interaction.
It
Before
has
it was
come a
like you call and like you're live with them if you get to the.
it has come a long time because if you think about it, in the 1938 radio broadcast of World of the Worlds, um, this was you know kind of local or localized. And now, a talk show could have a immediate worldwide audience, which I find that fascinating.
So the whole world is listening to you, Madison.
OMG. Hi, world. Hi.
Yeah, so it's not live anymore, but it's on demand. So you've got that option of listening to it later on, but everybody can access it. So it's not like broadcast and gone like live radio would be. You've got access to it anytime you want, which I think makes it more accessible, really.
Hmm.
And can't you guys like swear? Because you don't have the FCC like breathing down your neck, so you could say
Oh
whatever you
no!
want.
I mean, Robert had to deal with that because I mean, I cannot.
Well,
Are you naughty?
I
Once in a while.
don't typically, but my this podcast is set up to explicit, so we can all have the freedom to do if we choose to.
So you don't have to do like you did on the episode of the uh, bathing place that you were looking for Annie. That you had to say, get the f up. No, you don't have to do that.
You're giving me permission. Oh my god.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to drop every F bomb throughout the entire.
It'll be like Vietnam again, won't it? Cap bombing. So, Madison, what was it like to be there? I mean, was it in black and white? Were you shocked by the differences between our worlds? And were you in danger?
Oh my gosh, so many things to unpack there. As far as black and white, well, if you do your history, you will know that Technicolor came out in the early 1930s. So, no, it was plenty of color everywhere. Okay. It's definitely better air quality, especially in LA back in the 1930s. And gas is way cheaper. So that's a plus. And what was your other questions? Oh my God, didn't you have like 30 in there?
Yeah,
What else?
there was 32 questions actually. Were you shocked by the differences between our worlds?
Well, I'm still trying to find somebody who could make a decent mocha latte. I mean, it's like these people haven't heard of espresso yet. It's like everything's drip coffee.
Yeah, Waffle House.
Okay, well, I'm not that desperate.
But were you in danger?
Well, it's not like the Martians came in peace, did they? No. They were like burning people up all over the place. So, yeah, I was in danger.
So obviously no work health and safety when it comes to Martians.
Well, no, it doesn't appear so. They're really just kind of like come here and destroy, because that's kind of what we do. right, as people. So they're just kind of being like better at it.
Yeah, payback. Fair enough.
So Martians are better people.
They're better at destroying than people,
Uh,
which is what makes the military really jealous of them. That was my hot take on that.
I I was really surprised because when I heard you, at that scene where the military came in and they were gonna handle the situation.
OMG, was that just nothing like a, it was
Yeah.
like a dick fest in there. OMG. Oh, mine's bigger.
Exactly. I mean, I'm so amazed. Typical human superiority and complex. Like we have the soldiers here on vacation. They needed a way out to, um, test their superiority, test their strength. Um, Super confident they can win. Um, and I wonder, and this is a question for everybody in this podcast, is how it's kind of different from that time, from the 30s. Um, and the 50s had a different way of handling things because of the technology that had gotten, and of course we have today. Um, how would what is your thought on how that would migrate through the years if, for example, something like that would happen in the 50s versus happening today? We could start with, I don't know, Ray, what do you think?
well, as I remember, there was one tripod that was knocked down by a
Crows or
field gun,
ravens?
and the field gun was then taken out very quickly. But of course, in the 50s version, there was more, like tanks and stuff like that, but they were pretty obvious as well, and they were easy to take down with a heat ray. But of course, now we have remote warfare, and you have people sitting hundreds of kilometers away in a bunker, remotely controlling drones and laser guided missiles. So I feel like the Martians would be pushing shit uphill against current military equipment if it was a raid in the right place. I mean, it takes time to get these things on target. So once it was found that they were hostile, then you could clear people out of there and just send in remotely controlled drones and laser guided missiles, which would cause those tripods a bit of a problem, I think, compared to the forces arrayed against them in 1938.
Yeah, but I was thinking more of to like the psyche, like kind of like what Madison was just talking about. It's like, who can piss better, or then
I
the
mean, I mean, it feels like the Martians always gonna have the bigger dick. That's what it feels like.
yeah.
Well,
But like,
doesn't mean that's good
how,
aim, right?
yeah, you know how Madison experienced this in 38, right? During this scene that we're talking about, and
Yeah.
how they behaved towards the challenge prior to what the end result was. Would the military in the 50s versus the military today, would they behave in the same manner? Considering that there's a lot of things that happen, granted we have technology improvements, but we also have a lot more information. So, um, do you think they will like, behave exactly the same? With the same, I'm
back
better,
between
and
the back between the two world wars, you had the meat grinder. You just threw men at it, and you gave them whatever arms were available, and you just threw them in there. These days, it's more technological. So you have standoff tactics. You throw big, expensive, exploding weapons at things rather than people, and that's more the method of dealing with problems these days. I mean, you see it on TV all the time. You've got this video camera footage of you can, like, it's nighttime. There's a laser, and then suddenly something goes in and goes boom, and that's all you see. It's dealt with. You don't send people in; you send munitions in. So I think that would be the way that it would be handled currently.
I kind of think, just in general, that today I would think half the country would deny that the invasion was even happening.
Yep.
And then the other half would be trying to advocate for the Martians while they're getting burned up by the heat ray.
Hey, can't miss those activists, right? We need to have a cause to fight. And I mean, I think that's
If we're just nice to them, they'll be nice to us. Yeah.
we wish. We wish. We're food. I mean, cows are nice to us, and we're not nice to them.
I actually know you're wrong.
I mean,
You're actually wrong.
we're
Cows
such a-
kill more people than sharks do.
Come on, man. We're such a fucked up
Per
race
year.
that we put
Seriously,
in
per
a
year, cows kill
restaurant where
more
we eat
people than
pork.
sharks do.
No, look, man. We're so fucked up. In a restaurant where we eat chicken and we murdered them, we put a happy chicken. So you're gonna go eat chicken and chicken's happy about it. Like, come on, man. Have you seen how they make chicken nuggets?
No, and I don't want to.
Moving along.
I
I don't think
mean,
Madison wants to hear that.
Madison was on point with her assertion about it. I mean, I watched the first World Wars that I watched. Shame on me, was the Tom Cruise version, and it didn't seem much different than the other ones. We were helpless still. But yeah, so and what do you think that will happen today if this happened? Like, so that society, the first 30 years, if aliens attacked, how would it differ from the 30s?
Hmm.
We say the commonalities. Not say what will be different.
Well, because, you guys, like, when you're talking about the warfare stuff, like, you're assuming that they still have old technology while our technology is advanced. You don't know how kick-ass their technology would be today. I still think aliens will always have better technology than us. That's why they got here and we can't even get to them.
That is true.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I think, I'm actually undecided because on one side, because of all the thought experiments and the technology and advances, especially in warfare, military groups will feel a lot more confident, regardless of what level of technology the other side has. When it comes to aliens attacking. But we also have in the other side the information that we have gathered through the years, the thought experiments, and how sci-fi has always been a way for us to analyze what an actual issue and come up with solutions via thought experiments. So there has been a lot more exposure to what it would be like for Earth to be attacked by aliens. So that leads me to believe that the confidence level might go down a little because of that experience to those thoughts, the thought process. But that's just I don't know. I mean, if on one side I think we're going to be a lot more confident, and the other is like no, we're going to be a lot more cautious. So I'm not sure where I should go with that.
Well, if you believe the movie Battleship, you need a handbrake turn Missouri to deal with alien spaceships. So obviously, if you have that, you're okay. But if you don't, you're in trouble.
Because like Madison said, there always will be a lot more technologically advanced. Proven point is they got here. We can't do that. Yeah,
Elon's working on it. Give him a break. He's working on
it. We're working on it, but they come in with a military force. We can't do that. We might send a group of 5 or, into space, wait 9 months and,
That don't know even karate.
But that's just my
They're scientists. They're scientists.
Yeah. Yep.
They're like, I'm gonna attack you with this flask.
You want some tang?
But I think you're right, Robert. The big difference between success and failure when something unprecedented like this happens is, have you thought about it before? Are you at all prepared? Now, in the 30s, science fiction was very, like, you'd had Frankenstein, which is considered the first, outing of science fiction. But between the 30s
H.G. Wells, controller.
and yeah, but between the 30s and now, we've had such a range of science fiction, and people have thought about all these things that it's not going to be quite so shocking as it would have been back in the 30s, and people won't be like frozen up about it. They'll at least have some sort of context to work on because of science fiction and because we've thought about the possibility. When you haven't thought about the possibility, you've just got nowhere to go. When I expect, and I mean, I'm not an American citizen, but I expect that the US government has contingency plans for something showing up on US soil that is from which is extraterrestrial. They would have plans for that because of science fiction.
We will hope.
Well,
That's
yeah.
my feeling.
Just look at how much investment in space exploration and such has been done in the last 20, 40 years. It's like very recent. So I would think not.
And there's also Space Force.
Space Force, actually, Space Force is a telltale of it. Space Force is a telltale of it because they are like, we got to invest on this. If you get something coming up, we cannot defend ourselves.
I think it's the beginning. Everything needs to start somewhere.
Yep.
I'm sure that 5-10 years down the line, it would be a complete different organization.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
But,
I don't think that nothing's gonna happen if you throw a nuke to the atmosphere. Would it explode the same way without oxygen and all those things?
They already did test. I think I seen some where they actually were testing a different level of the atmosphere and see what reaction they got. So look it up on YouTube. It's really interesting.
Oh, I mean, the only testing of nukes that I've seen is the one in Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob.
Now they did a lot more. They did on the ground testing, on the air testing. Yeah, all kinds of testing.
Let's just say, Giancarlo, that you don't need oxygen for nuclear fusion. Example: the sun.
But it will be shitty if we throw a nuke to them and we actually charge their battery.
So the Martians have shown up here to charge their phones on their way to Venus, and if we nuke them, it will charge their phones and then they'll leave. Is that the plan?
No, they're gonna be like, "Oh, these people are nice."
Hey, Madison, that's a new way. That might be a new way for you to charge the phone in the past.
I brought my charger with me. I can charge there. They feel like they have electricity. It's not the 1830s.
What is it called? The charger that you actually have like these rolling things that you use like the force to
It's called a plug. I plug it into the phone. I plug it into the wall.
No, I mean like for camping.
OMG.
It's not solar one, but it's one like you use like.
I think I know.
I would never go camping. Outside.
Dynamo?
Dynamo? Yeah.
Isn't that what you wash your clothes with?
What the cars used to have for the starter. You can take one of those if you don't have electricity. You can plug it in and just.
Madison doesn't like camping, so there goes that idea. Another thing that I was thinking about when I was listening to the show and the attack of the aliens. I'm not sure how many of you have seen, and I'm sure Madison have not seen Arrival at all, because you haven't been back to our time yet. I'm assuming, but the aliens have a really big. They really look like, to me, they might be Maybe related to the heptapods?
That's how they talk.
Oh, what do you guys think? I mean, that's when I was listening to the description. Those octopus-like aliens coming out of the machines. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, also, I mean, are they third dimensional or are they fourth dimensional like the hectopods? Because if that's the case, then we really don't know how they look like at all, hectopods
Yeah.
or the aliens from the attack.
They were icky. That's all I remember. They were icky. There was like saliva stuff and crusty things and just They looked like a disease before they were sick. It's terrible.
Too many arms.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I like octopi. Okay, I think they are fascinating creatures, but I don't want them attached to a mouth that looks like a venereal disease. It was disgusting.
Okay, so your Google review for the aliens was not good. Wouldn't go again.
Wouldn't recommend. No. No stars.
Harsh.
Avoid at all costs.
Harsh.
wouldn't-
Speaking of avoiding at all costs, the infection aspect of the story on the surface seems rather realistic sounding. This is part of why we're trying to avoid contamination of celestial bodies like Mars and the Moon from our probes that we send up there. So we're trying to keep them aseptic. But wouldn't the Martian know about microbes? Wouldn't they hermetically seal their pods so that they wouldn't get infected with stuff from down here?
Oh, okay. I have a theory about that. Okay, and this kind of goes back to all of our military talk. Okay,
Yeah.
so back on Mars, there were all these like Martian scientist guys tell the military Martian guys about the possibility of microbes, right? But the military guys were all like, nothing that small could kill us. So they like launched their invasion anyway. So basically, the ones that came to Earth are science deniers.
What
Mm.
they go flat earther?
The flat Marses.
Yes. They're like, anything small like that we could totally take, and the scientists are like, OMG, what? So, but, the guys with the guns, they get to go, so.
And they're probably like, anyways, like they're flat, so they're not gonna get here.
We've got a heat ray. That'll take care of everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Can't turn it on yourself once they're inside you, buddy.
Now, let me ask you, Madison, how did you get to? How do you manage to avoid the Martians to the very end?
Oh, well, you guys, I was like palling around with that Professor Pearson guy.
Yeah.
All right, so he has a lab in the Griffith Park Observatory, and they gave him this sad little basement apartment under the lab. It's like he really needs to get out, maybe hit the Sunset Strip or something, because he's just really isolated. But bonus for us, they couldn't find us there. We were kind of like subterranean in the mountain, so that totally helped.
Awesome.
Nice.
Kind of like NORAD for scientists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Did
it's
he
just
have-
where they house him, so he's never far away from doing his work. He's just a pathetic, lonely guy.
Oh,
Felt
poor
sorry
thing.
for him.
Aw.
I was wondering, since we're talking about him, did he have any special survival skills? Was he an
Are you kidding? He kept running towards the Martians. Like, where is even the survival instinct in his head? OMG, no. He was a total nerd. No. He didn't
So he
even
wasn't
drive.
XSAS or anything. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's like, I had to drive him. I think he's afraid of the LA freeways. It's like, come on. No,
Yeah,
he was,
people
Hey,
are
I'd be
of
afraid
it.
of the LA freeways.
I drove it. It was nice.
Yeah, right.
It's true. I stayed
No,
in
I know
Compton.
you drove it. I don't believe you. It's
I stayed
nice.
in
but
Compton.
Hey, look, I'm from Australia. How the hell do you navigate a cloverleaf? That just looks crazy.
depends how fast you're going, where you end up.
So you have to plan it right, inertia.
Meow.
So, did you find that you had any tendency to tend to befriend the professor during your harrowing experience together? That sort of
I'm sorry,
thing
what
that
now?
happens.
What are
You
you?
know, you go through a harrowing experience together with the professor, and he starts to look like boyfriend material.
Oh, God, no. He's like over 40. Eh.
Don't you remember she would not even make babies with him at the end?
No way. Human race dying out. That is it. No, I'm not. No. Eh. Oh my God, his shoes and socks didn't even match. It was like he had no sense of fashion. How could I even be seen with someone like that?
He probably wouldn't be able to even if he wanted to, right?
I think I'd take one of the Martians over the professor.
Oh God.
Harsh.
Always an interesting mix.
Oh God.
Well, 8 arms. I don't know. That could be fun.
A cute little octopus.
Lucky we're explicit.
Yes, we are.
I meant for a nice warm hug. What are you talking about?
See?
So you didn't get the hots for the professor.
Eh.
Yep.
Not even like that kind of like fetish like older people.
I know. I don't go for older.
Sugar daddy vibe.
Well, it wasn't like he had money. He was living off of grants at the the lab. I mean,
No, I feel you.
if he was a millionaire, I might be able to look past his ancientness, but and I'm not shallow. That's just the way women are designed. You look for Prince Charming, not minimum wage charming.
Hey, survival instincts. Totally.
Exactly. I mean, frankly, I feel like if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have survived. I mean, really, you heard it, right?
I think so.
Oh yes.
He would not have survived without you.
He would have been burned up in that first explosion. I'm serious.
Yeah, in the farm, yeah. Right there in there.
So what, it was some sort of reverse sort of mummy syndrome where you needed to protect him?
Well, I gave him a ride, so I felt kind of responsible for him. Like when you go to a party and you take someone there, you kind of feel like you have to wait for them to want to leave, that kind of thing.
Oh, you're too nice. I don't have that.
Well, then I won't go to a party with you. You'd rather hang out at Applebee's anyway, so.
Nah, I go there for lunch.
So you?
Yeah.
Oh, he already asked that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. Now it's on.
So, Madison, it has been amazing to have you on our show.
Well, it's awesome to be here in the present. That was cool.
Although it wasn't deliberate, we really appreciate it, and we thank
Don't
you
miss
for
going
coming.
to see a barista.
Hey, baristas are some of my best friends.
Yeah, don't miss that now because you won't have it in the past.
Do you think I could get a coffee? Are you guys taking a Starbucks order? Is it pumpkin spice mocha time yet? What?
I always take caramel macchiato. Caramel macchiato for me. That's my favorite.
Okay, who's writing this down? You guys are taking orders?
I think you is.
I'm going octopus.
Well, I hope you enjoy poking skeletons with a stick, Madison.
I just wanted to see if it would disintegrate or what it would do. I mean, come on. I have a curious mind.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
That's why the scientist was into you.
Now, he kept yelling at me about it. Oh, I think I might have. I might have to go back to the past now. I think.
We're gonna see now how you're gonna get out.
Oh, I'll find a way.
She's not going anywhere. No, wait. She's taking Jean's car keys and is jumping out the window.
Oh, a remembrance for me. Nice.
Your car's not very well, Jean.
Oh man, no time traveling millennials have been harmed in the making of this podcast. Probably.
We can say the same for baristas.
Thank you, everybody.